I reacted to the brand new Sorcery Pack DLC, which of course has completely ruined Hogwarts. And I thought in that video I talked about, we started here, and I think this is a decent spot to start again, because, well, you can already tell a bunch of these pieces can be replaced. Literally, just get rid of all these ugly little spires. It's depressing, but unfortunately, this will just look so much better. I do know there are those of you who thought I should just stick with what I had, and while I get what you mean, I don't agree. Of course, it is very cool I made all of this custom. It's definitely a lot more impressive, I guess, than using these new pieces. However, at the end of the day, I'm trying to get the best result thing again. I feel like that's absolutely justified. And besides, the old version lives on in old episodes, I guess. And then that is just so much better. It's just unfair. It is unfair. It's decent besides the roof. And I'm hoping maybe... Actually, why don't we just use the same thing again, except just for the roof part? Like this, or might we just as well just use the whole thing? I quite like the tower part. I just hate this. I say that, but I mean this is, or even this. There's just so many better options now. It's actually crazy. I just realized, look at this. Just look. This is exactly what we needed. Oh. Actually, wait a second. Before I ruin the whole thing, let me just duplicate it first. Say I would use this part instead. And there's more. There's more, of course. Oh, and they all fit like an absolute glove. Oh, and look at that. Bro. This is, in fact, perfect for the bottom part. Here, look at that. Oh, that's gorgeous. Guys, my recording just stopped. Oh. In the meantime, what I did is I finished this tower, which now looks... Oh, this sucks. Oh, this sucks. Okay. I fixed this. I genuinely feel like screaming though, because all that recording just disappeared. But here we are. So for example, now let's see what we can do to this part of the building. I can just already tell this is just... Oi, 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 oi. What? This is honestly making me tear up a little bit. This looks absolutely incredible. And dude, look at this. Ew, that's just... It's gorgeous. I like it all yet, but we definitely should. Also from the fairy tale pack, I believe. Look at how... Holy shit. And you guessed it, for these tiny parts, I also will replace them with the new one. Over here is these roofs. The round ones are just not great. This is being all of that over. Amazing. But then at this, the biggest pain for me are these windows. This is horrendous, especially considering all the incredible fancy versions we now have. So let's see if that looks good. And surprise, surprise, of course it does. That's just really sad. Up here we have, just look at how much more defined this looks. And this, I might add, also fits like a glove. Better than that. There might be a point in this video. Again, I keep saying it, but I might cry. This is just looking really, really good. These roofs might actually be fine, because I'm pretty sure none of these actually would fit, and these can't be scaled up. So, as you can tell, that's not quite the right size. So knowing that, I can actually sleep better at night, because I didn't do everything for nothing. Like, this was actually fine. Then, what we are going to do with these windows, now I can already tell. We're not going to do anything. This was the absolute worst of the worst of work in this area, especially the big windows too. Those look good though, especially because you can actually see through them. So all of the actual see-through windows I will keep as they are. It's just all the fake windows that need changing, such as this one. And unfortunately, those are absolutely all over the castle, which is just fantastic. However, there is a far more pressing matter, and that is this arch, right angle, which is depressing, because I took a long time building that arch, only for us to completely get rid of it right now. Because, as you can tell, this... Wow, that is super satisfying, actually. And of that arch... Oh, that is... that is bloody lovely. Wait a minute, we have crystals. Wait a minute. It's time for the occasional detour, ladies and gentlemen, because I remember something. Over here, we need amber. Amber, of course, does not look like rocks. It looks like some sort of crystals. What? Hold on a minute. There you go. Let's get rid of all this bullshit and instead pop in some lovely amber. Just shoving this in the walls a little bit and the ground. This really does remind me of Theme Park Tycoon 2. I did this exact thing over there with those crystals. Of course, we can also make these a bit smaller for some smaller details. You also have really big ones, although I feel like that's a bit overkill, but let's try it nonetheless. Here you go, some big pieces. This is really cool though. I really like this so much better. Yep, okay, so that was the quick detour. Now back to Hogwarts. However, wait a sec. Do we not have something better for that? Oh, we have multiple things actually. Let's see which one of these fits the nicest. I feel like this could fit, I think. Maybe a little bit smaller, and then aligning it, changing the colors too, making it a bit more brownish. This looks really good. Yeah, that is a big upgrade. Let's actually get rid of all this and instead shove this in place. And that we then need 1, 2, 3, 8 times in total. And looking at these, there are so many of those fake windows on it. Everything that needs to be replaced. And all of this also would have been so much nicer using the fancy pillars we now have. But I feel like that's just a bit too much. Like changing all of that, I really wish I had this before, because it would have looked better. It would have ended up looking better, because I'm not even including all the on-grid pieces, all the pieces that have all the fancy edges, all the details you'd want initially. I'm never gonna replace all of that, so it's never gonna be as good as it could have been if I built it today, which is really sad, of course. I do really like how this looks now already. That's a lot better. I feel like we're gonna have to walk through it from first-person perspective and look at what you actually see. However, as you can tell, the interior is completely empty still. That's a problem for later. And so is most of the backside. It's really not that taken care of yet. I was going to later. And that, I guess, is a good thing. Also, this is going to need some work. This is so much more work than I hoped. Oh. Anyway, let's first focus on the stuff that stands out the most. Wait, looking at this arch just now, I realized this probably can use the same part. Look, what if we just grab it once again, make that really nice and big, and then push it in far enough to hide that texture, but keep the nice trim at the wow! At the front. That's actually the exact right shape. Dude, that is, of course, the Great Hall. Because we also have a bunch of new decorative pieces. And one in particular is candles. Let's get rid of all these lanterns and replace them with this kind of thing. Has to be a bit smaller, though. Like just regular table candles. And just pop these in place. How about that? That seems to fit this theme a lot better, if you ask. Oh. Yes. Taking care of the rest of the tables, which I might add looks horrendous, actually. What? Why are these blue? I also noticed, of course, the gargoyles. I do remember seeing a bunch of new ones. Let's go back to our plaque and see what we've got. This is a lot more accurate. Still not perfect, but a lot more accurate. And I'm thinking maybe this one as well. Let's just grab them both. So we have the ones on top, which I don't even know what the hell this is. For those, I think we can use the dragon head. Let's have a look if this works. First of all, it's important to know if we can even change the color at all. Not fully, but I suppose this is good enough. I really simply have to get rid of all the old stuff and replace it with that new one. That's actually a lot better, yeah. Identical thing, of course, on the other side, like so. And to be fair, you don't even really see it, but it's nice to know that it's there now. The dragon heads, and I am pretty sure that this is much better. Still, of course, not perfect, but look at that. At least it's got the wings and everything. Let's see. Actually, oh, wait, that fits really well. Wait. Oh my god, that fits perfectly. Wait a minute. Look, if we simply go and put this in his hands, this has to be a little bit low. Oh, that's too bad. However, we've gotten a nicer looking one in the meantime. This is much nicer. Oh, that is... that's great. Let's see. Yes, this feels much better. It's just right. Then for some, I'm not sure. It's still not ideal, of course. Using, of course, some primitives. Look, we'll just kind of make like a medieval beaker, something like this, I guess. I don't even know. It's better, I suppose. It's just still not great, but there's not many other options. So what I do think we should absolutely change is the benches and lampposts, because I remember seeing a very nice looking bench and a very nice trash can for that matter. Look at that. That is just... the difference is insane. This, of course, there's all the roofs. Oh, because look, this is exactly... that's exactly that same thing, bro. Oh, but you know what? I don't think I'm gonna change this. That would just be too much work. Like, there's a point where where it stops being worth it. Although it would of course just be very nice. The angle isn't identical, by the way. It's slightly different, as you can tell. But the texture is just so much better. You know what? I think I'll just keep this as it is. Besides, some of this kind of stuff. I do really like the one I made. These are also very good looking, especially the round ones. So maybe I can replace some of them. Not all, but some. I am noticing in general, everything I'm seeing today, I thought it was more detailed. I thought it was better. I also thought it was more finished than it is, because for example, all of these windows are still empty. There's nothing inside. I'm kind of underwhelmed by this. Like, we can definitely add more detail to it. I feel like just the whole Harry Potter area is not even close, besides the parts that are actually not finished. Like, even the parts I thought aren't really that great. Was this too ambitious? I'm pretty sure it was. But we still have to finish it. It just looks really good. Also, this window fits in perfectly in that little triangle. It's great stuff. It is great. Oh, imagine if I had this. Imagine if I had it. Anyway, some things that are very easy to record. These towers are filled with the outdated ones. The small ones. So let's just replace all of them. Let's not make it harder than it needs to be. Here you go. 1, 2, and 3. This is nice, but it's a lot of work.